Choo choo.
Choo choo, Thomas.
Choo choo. Pillsbury Doughboy.
Pillsbury Doughboy.
Thomas the Tank Engine. 90s UK advert.
Anyway,
today's film is about a train. We went to go and see the murder at the Orient Express.
Went to see the murderer.
Yeah, a murder on the Orient Express. Murder on the Orient Express. Okay,
Yeah.
so we just got back. I just stuck my Grinch lounge pants on, getting nice and cozy.
Festive.
Very festive, even though it's November.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever. These are very cozy,
Mm-hmm.
and I really bloody enjoyed this film.
It was a good one.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it.
You loved it. Okay,
Loved
cool,
it.
awesome.
I am a diehard Poirot fan anyway.
Yeah,
Since I was little.
Yeah.
Watched a load of the feature-length shows, read a load of the books.
And I don't know anything about Poirot.
Apart from the moustache.
Apart from the moustache.
Everyone knows about the moustache.
Yeah, it's pretty iconic. It's like Sherlock Holmes with the pipe and the hat, you know?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
And I thought all this time it was Poiret.
Poirot!
I didn't even realise.
At least you think it was Poirot.
Poirot. Okay, so yeah, this is a Poirot story, Agatha Christie, and I don't know a thing about Poirot. I've never read an Agatha Christie book. I've never seen an Agatha Christie adaptation on television. I think the closest thing to Agatha Christie I've seen is that Doctor Who episode where the giant wasps are going around and killing everyone, which is brilliant. I love that.
Yes.
And they had to,
good.
and they actually have to do an Agatha Christie murder mystery to
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
it's
So
good.
that's the closest thing I've got to any of this. I'd like to start with the fact that this was a very strangely pretty film. I wasn't expecting it to be as well shot as it was for being mostly set on a train.
On a train in the snow.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole time.
But some of the scenery shots that were there, some of the panning shots, the establishing shots, they are incredibly beautiful. The only major issue I have with them is the fact that a lot of them were CGI, and it took away from the 30s aesthetic a little bit, because it was good. It was noticeable though. That was the first thing that struck me, and especially there was the one of my favourite bits was the scene where they discover the murder on the Orient Express, the train.
Yeah.
And the camera is constantly above their head. It's a bird's eye camera.
love that.
Yeah, it's a bird's eye camera perspective looking down at the train, as in through the roof.
Yeah.
So you're going from each room above the characters' heads. But when they get to see the murder, you don't actually see the body
No, you don't see
or anything. You don't get, the camera doesn't give you a chance to have any of that take up the frame. It's all about misdirection and confusion and everything. So when that shot's there and it stays on the people witnessing the murder instead of actually you witnessing it, it's strangely effective.
What if he was a pirate?
Poirot the pirate.
Yeah.
Pirate Poirot. That's actually
Poirot!
exactly. Yeah, that's actually really difficult to say. Pirate Poirot. Pirate Poirot. Pirate Poirot.
Pirate Poirot.
That's horrible.
Pirate.
Watch out, me hearties, I'm a pirate. Arr.
Oh, you'd have to say it with a Belgian accent. Gar. That was the hook.
And now we know why Caddicarus wasn't in Murder on the Orient Express. So yes, this is a murder mystery thriller drama film. It's laid back, but still with incredible pacing, really good twists and turns.
Chilled murder.
It's a chilled murder, yeah. It's a chilled murder.
It's very relaxed.
It's a relaxed murder, yeah.
Yeah.
I was constantly guessing. I thought it was one character 1 second, and then I thought it was another character the next second. And every single character you're introduced to has a motive, has a reason, has slightly iffy behaviour, and it all contributes to this feeling of unease, and you feel like you're with Poirot himself. You feel like you both are solving this together. You feel like you're the witness, much like what's his face, the British guy that he works with. Yeah.
I think it was Boot.
Boot or Book or something.
Or was it Book?
Maybe it was Book.
Book or Boot.
Yeah, but there's this British guy who gets
Pirate Book.
Yeah, he gets him onto the train in the first place because he's got an urgent call he needs to attend to, and he's like, oh yeah, come onto my train, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're the third wheel of this because he's helping out Poirot, and he's on the side. He's not doing much, but he's there. And
I
all
think
of
it's good for Poirot to have a bit of a, someone to bounce off.
Yeah.
So he was.
Also, I burped popcorn. I'm very sorry. It really makes you feel like you're there, along with the claustrophobic train setting and everything.
There was a lot of moustache close up.
Yeah.
I was trying to see I'm guessing it was stuck on because it's quite big.
Oh, it was probably.
But it was
stuck
very
on.
well done because I was looking to see all the little tiny individual hair follicles.
And they did it. Yeah.
And they did a good job.
Maybe Kenneth Branagh actually grew it. Maybe
no one could grow a moustache.
Maybe
like that.
maybe Gilderoy Lockhart was actually more of a man than we thought.
It's double moustache because you've got the moustache and then there was an under moustache.
Yeah, it's an undercut.
So no human being can grow that.
No. I also love how like the camera work and all of the sweeping establishing shots and all the mountains and everything. It helps show off how isolated this incident is.
Yeah.
Which then obviously contributes more to the isolated, uneasy atmosphere.
It's stressful, isn't it?
And it's stressful because for such a small location as 3 carriages of a train, the fact that there is something going on, people are getting hurt and someone has died, makes you think, how are they not seeing this? What's this person or thing doing? How are they doing it?
Yeah.
So you're trying to figure out as much as Poirot what's going on, and I like how it does that, especially as coming from me, who's someone who's not seen a Poirot story in motion before.
I think if you're constantly guessing and changing your mind about who's done what, that's a sign of good writing, surely.
It is. The only major problem I have with it, though, when Poirot figures everything out, because he does, he always does. Once you watch the film as well, and you understand how much power that Poirot basically condemns over everybody. He's like a god to loads of people.
Well, he's famous.
He's famous in his universe.
He's
Yeah.
famous.
I find it unbelievable when you find out who did the murder and everything. I find it unbelievably unrealistic, and I can't implausible that it happened in the carriage next to him,
and he didn't know.
and he had no idea.
Yeah.
And I'd forgive it if it was a particular kind of murder without spoiling anything, but because of the kind of murder that it was, I don't know how he didn't wake up and figure everything out, because this is the guy that's so finely tuned into everything. So yeah, I don't know if that's to do with the original story or what, but I found that a little bit implausible, which kind of took away from the satisfaction of, oh, this guy's supposed to be a genius, but some of the obvious things have been kind of left. Yeah, one thing I can definitely basically say is the best thing about this film is the acting.
Oh yeah.
The acting is...
I forgot we were watching a film at some points. Obviously I didn't forget I was in the cinema, but it's very casual of you.
Yeah, I'm very cash tonight.
We were very
Lounge
casual.
pant, Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah.
Leaning on my honey.
And I've even got my shoulder out.
Got shoulder out. That's why I'm leaning. That's why I'm leaning, so I can...
Between you and me, this is what Caddy calls a cheeky wink.
Yeah. It's like doing... like that, but with your shoulder.
I'm not very good at winking, so I've got to wink with my shoulder. Anyway.
You look like you're having an attack of some kind when you're winking. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, off subject. What was I talking about?
You were talking about this film, Murder on the
I
Orient
was
Express.
in the cinema.
You forgot you were watching a
No,
film, yeah.
what I mean is like, you don't forget watching it, but you forget actors are acting.
Yeah, you're engrossed. The great thing about the acting is that every character, even if they haven't got much screen time, is so well established within the first few seconds that you see them, that when the twists and turns come out and everything's revealed as it goes on, it's genuinely quite interesting, because you think you know the characters from when you first see them and you think you can judge them. Turns out there's more going on, and I like how you can feel that about characters that you don't necessarily connect to. Willem Dafoe's in this movie, and I pointed out when he started talking that was the worst accent I'd ever heard someone try to do.
Remembering what I said in the car.
What, Willem Dafoe or Willem Defriend?
That was the joke of my joke of the night.
Very funny.
Anyway,
so yeah. So he's supposed to be initially a German professor, and he comes in and he sounds like a British guy.
I know, so we were thinking, oh god, he can't do the accent.
So we were thinking he can't do the accent,
properly.
oh, this is gonna fall apart. He was actually trying to be another persona.
Yeah.
Without spoiling too much. And then that explained why the accent was so iffy in the first place.
It's like, phew,
that was done. It was
done
on purpose, which I thought was a really nice detail. And I lost my train of thought.
Train.
Oh!
Choo-choo.
Thomas. I think obviously the highlight of the whole thing is Kenneth Branagh as Poirot, and I didn't even realise he directed this film as well. So he directed and produced and was lead actor, and unlike Tommy Wiseau, actually did a really good job.
I thought that. Yeah. My first thought when we read the credits was, oh god, he's done a Tommy Wiseau.
He's done a Tommy Wiseau, but he did such a phenomenal job for what he was doing. He had a lot to do, and he did so well. The first scene of the film that you get is in Jerusalem, right? It's the wall of the breathing wall or something.
The Wailing Wall.
The Wailing Wall. Is that Jerusalem? Okay. Anyway, wherever they are, well, that's what it's called. Anyway.
No, it's not. The Wailing Wall.
It is the Wailing Wall.
Not the Breathing Wall.
I thought it was the breathing wall. I'm sorry. Anyway, there's a religious conflict going on. The acting is so good that you understand what kind of person he is literally from the first line of dialogue which he says, which is one word. He says no. And the way that he says it, in the context that he says it...
How did he say it?
No.
No.
You understand exactly the kind of person that he is, but you understand the respect, you understand the sense of humour, and you understand the power this guy has, and it's made very evident, not by anybody constantly going, oh my god, we love you so much, you're the best, but just from the way he presents himself.
He's got a large amount of respect.
Yes, he has got a large amount of respect, and you're just kind of left to fill in the gaps yourself on how he managed to get that much respect. But the fact that he's called in to solve a religious conflict from hundreds of people, and he solves the case within the first 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
It's a great starting point because it shows how good he is, it shows how respected he is, shows how much he doesn't take shit.
Yeah.
But it also shows the sense of humour that he has and the level of how he treats other people and everything like that. He knows when to do what he needs to do, and there's this immense amount of like self-control and preservation and dignity. He doesn't say jokes necessarily, but the way he interacts with people is blunt, but never rude, and he's only ever rude when you have deserved it or have been rude to him. It's not the way he says it, but it's the context and how he says it, who he says it to.
Yeah. And
obviously some of it is deadpan, some of it is loud. It's never too extreme on one end or another. Basically, he's everything I think. I wasn't expecting him to be that good, but he made the film for me.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. He doesn't gloat, he hasn't got an ego.
No, there's no ego.
No, but that's what's great about him. There's this level of dignity, and he hasn't got an ego, but at the same time he doesn't... I can't even explain it. It's really difficult to explain.
With great moustache.
Yes.
Comes great responsibility.
Absolutely.
Good uncle material. Uncle Poirot.
Yes. The acting is flawless and it contributes to the pace of the scenes. Another one of my favourite scenes is when he is basically deducing the final stretch of the case. It's a mostly quiet film, which I really like as well, because there's a bit that happens which scared the fuck out of me.
I think everybody.
And everyone in the theatre was like, I heard gasps.
Don't say when it is.
I'm not going to say what.
But you'll know when it is.
You'll know when it is.
You'll probably poo your pants as well.
Maybe.
So.
But the way that the scene is constructed, the way it's filmed, it's not over the top, it's subtle, there's no music. And as he's deducing it and speaking quicker and quicker and getting angrier and angrier, you feel like something's happening, and it is so well paced and not unexpected necessarily, but it shows immediately the stakes have been raised.
It's done in a completely different way to the rest of the whole film.
It's just really, really well done. And again, with no music or anything like that. It's quiet, it's realistic, I really liked it. If anything, it's kind of a bummer to the film because I think he completely steals it. The other actors were really great, but I think he kind of steals it a little bit.
I think if anyone's going to steal it, it
should be Poirot, absolutely.
So, I think that's okay.
Bit of a nitpick, but it still bothered me. For as well shot some of the scenes were and everything, like the establishing shots and everything, the transitional shots, not that great. Editing wasn't really up to snuff with the rest of the cinematography, I think.
Okay.
If you can make a row of baked bread interesting, going up to Poirot's face as he's narrating over the baked bread, if you can make that interesting, I don't know why when you get on a boat and end up then going to another country, it just cuts and then has text at the bottom. It really took me out of the mood, and it's like there's a swooping, mysterious orchestral score and then it just cuts.
I didn't even notice that.
Well, I did, because it really kind of bummed me a little bit.
Oh.
I think we can wrap it up there pretty much.
All right.
I've got nothing much more to say. I really enjoyed this film. I'm going to give it
Same.
8 out of 10.
That's what I was going to do. Let's have a joint maggot between us that's the same.
There you go.
number then.
8 out of 8 maggots out of a rotting horse carcass from both of us.
Yeah.
I've talked about the kind of slight issues and atmosphere draining moments that I
Mm-hmm.
had. Yeah, other than that, I think it was a really solid mystery thriller movie. It was a nice change of
agree.
pace from what we usually watch. Acting
Yeah.
was brilliant. It's really good. And there's the hint of a sequel at the end of the film as well,
Yes.
which was your favourite
Very
Poirot
excited.
story.
That was my favourite book.
But yeah, basically, I'm more than happy to see where it's going after that. I'm just hoping that they can fix a few of the things I had a little bit of an iffy
I'm
problem
sure
with.
if you write to Kenneth Branagh, he'll make sure he does that for you.
Yeah.
I've just thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so Johnny Depp's in it.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp is famous for playing a pirate.
Yeah.
Pirate.
Yeah.
Pirate. There was one on the train. The whole time. You must have noticed that.